So let me clarify this. Are y'all telling us that if you are not related to us, if you are not dating us, if you're not having some sort of physical relationship to us, if you don't find us attractive, if you don't find us polite enough, kind enough, quiet enough, that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're telling us? Is that the precedent you're setting?
So the internet seems to be split 50-50 when it comes to the story about the woman who recently took a brick to the face.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what are you gonna do?
Which is so crazy to me that the ratio was like that, in it that how many women say that they want an emotionally astute or competent man, yet their empathy for that man is conditional, with the condition that you must always agree with them and never hold them accountable. It's hilarious how this works, but nevertheless, I first wanted to review and go over the anti-male sentiment.
So let me clarify this. Are y'all telling us that if you are not related to us, if you are not dating us, if you're not having some sort of physical relationship to us, if you don't find us attractive, if you don't find us polite enough, kind enough, quiet enough, that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're telling us? Is that the precedent you're setting?
Now, this particular video here is spreading like wildfire all across the internet. But before I go in on her comments, I just want to let you guys know that I actually know this young woman. About 6 or 7 years ago, I randomly met her at a career fair. This is back in my old life when I was in corporate America. And I'm not going to get into the story and the particulars, but just understand that she has all of the characteristics and all of the stereotypes of a strong, independent, black woman that supports BLM and thinks that the patriarchy is currently oppressing her within her high-level job or whatever organization that she works at. More than likely uses the word pick me to describe women that hold other women accountable, more than likely was not a fan of Kevin Samuels, and the list goes on. But essentially the woke victim mentality types that we like to go over on this platform from time to time. They like to complain about everything around them, while at the same time enjoying the privileges and benefits within society afforded by men while still complaining about a patriarchy. Having conversations with women like her is the reason that I created this YouTube channel, and it is the reason why channels such as myself continue to grow. Now that that's out the way.
So let me clarify this. Are y'all telling us that if you are not related to us,
Yes.
if you are not dating us,
Yes.
if you're not having some sort of physical relationship to us,
Yes.
if you don't find us attractive,
I don't know about the attraction thing, but the other three for sure.
if you don't find us polite enough,
True. Big true.
kind enough,
That too.
quiet enough,
Sure.
that our lives are not worth protecting? Is
No.
that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
Is that the precedent you're setting?
Yes. Yes. That's the precedent that we're setting. I'm not being held responsible to protect what I am not accountable for. I am also not to be held responsible for protecting those with a behavior that is not worthy of being protected of. Why? Well, it puts me at risk. It puts me in danger, and the trade-off for men are potentially fatal.
We have new details today after a deadly shooting at a Walmart in Lauderdale Lakes yesterday. We're now learning the man killed is a Good Samaritan who was shot when he was trying to help a woman who worked at the store.
22-year-old Tyrone Sterling of Lauderhill behind bars accused of shooting a man inside a Lauderdale Lakes Walmart Tuesday afternoon.
I was at the cash register and we heard some shots. Everybody just started running. I ran out of there.
Walmart customers who dropped everything to escape the gunfire yesterday returning to the store this morning to collect their belongings.
I left my book bag, but I had my wallet with me.
Broward County deputies surrounding the store yesterday. BSO says so far their investigation shows Sterling arrived at the Walmart. He works there but was not on shift. Sterling and a female employee were arguing when things got physical. Deputies say Sterling dropped a gun on the floor and tried to steal the woman's cell phone. A male shopper tried to intervene. Sterling picked up the gun and shot the customer multiple times before running away. That customer was airlifted to Broward Health, where he later died. from his injuries. After a few hours of searching, BSO SWAT and intervention teams tracked down Sterling near an apartment complex in Lauderhill. Cell phone video appears to show them taking him into custody. He now faces first-degree charges of murder and armed robbery by sudden snatching.
First off, RIP to the man whose life was taken and condolences to his family. What we don't know in this story is the details into the particular conduct of what was happening, but what we do know is that he intervened and now his life is lost. This is what every man must consider before he chooses to get involved in these situations. This is real life. This is not a movie. He thought he was going to go home to his family that night, but because of this scumbag, now his life is over. This is what men think about when they've seen or interacted in violent situations. They know how quickly it can turn out. And I understand a degree of the ancillary points regarding this topic, because without courageous men, the society begins to crumble. But what I'm telling men is to make an intelligent decision, understand the context of the situation as much as what you can before you jump into something. You see, that would be a logical approach to a very hot button topic, one of which involves the lives of men. But for you see, madame, you don't care anything about that, because the low-level disdain for men oozes from your feminist pores and demonstrates perfectly your lack of empathy for the male plight, demonstrating to us that you don't live in reality. You live in a movie, one of which the protagonist's main goal is to save the day, to be their knight in shining armor, even if you're not accountable for them, even if they don't know you, even if they don't respect you, even if they put themselves in that exact position, and even if they wouldn't do the same for you. This chick, I feel like, believes that she's in a Spider-Man cartoon.
Mary Jane, will you marry me? Mary Jane! Why did you do that?
To prove to myself that you'll always be there for me when it really counts. You will, won't you, Peter?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Then of course I'll marry you.
Women like this grew up watching cartoons, entranced by Disney, enamored by the programming. And I'm not even gonna go over her replies section to all of this because I don't want to stress y'all out too much for today. But here's what it looks like when a woman who has fantastic relationships with men in her life go against the modern woman echo chamber.
In regards to black women not being protected, let me first state the obvious. No man should put his hands on a woman.
I know she said in regards to black women being protected by black men, but let me also just say that I think nobody should put their hands on anybody, no matter the gender.
We desire protection, but sometimes what we don't understand is that true protection comes with a level of control. Bodyguards are a good example. A bodyguard will make their client leave from a dangerous place. The bodyguard has to know all the details: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And the client has to listen to the bodyguard and follow the instruction that the bodyguard gives them. It's really an agreement between all parties involved. When the person who needs protecting does not follow the instruction and the direction of the protector, it puts the protector in a situation where they're more likely to lose their life.
Yes.
I have 4 brothers and a father, and I listen to their instruction even when they're not around. They have told me to stay away from certain places if I'm by myself or if it's late at night. They've also advised me not to be drunk or high in certain situations.
Absolutely.
Even though my brothers, my dad, and the men in my life protect me, I in turn protect them by listening to them and following their instruction.
The bodyguard example is pivotal in this conversation. How can you expect the bodyguard to protect you if you don't listen to what he's asking for you to do? He cannot be accountable for your safety if you are not allowing him to lead you into safety, into a safe environment. So although control goes against the modern woman's dogma today, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. A man that chooses to protect you through your irrationality is a sucker. That's a weak man that does not have control of his situation, does not have control of his reality, and instead allows your need to be right or your lack of not wanting to listen to his leadership results in an increased risk to both y'all situations.
They don't have to come to my defense in some wild scenario, because if I listened to them, I wouldn't have been there in the first place. And this is another thing I feel like is pertinent to say, and I know folks ain't gonna like this one. I don't have sons right now, but when I do have sons, I'm gonna teach them that there's a difference between diamonds and dirt and rubies and rocks.
Talk to him.
Rubies and diamonds are often in jewelry stores. They're in glass cases, they're secured, there's an alarm system. There's a lot of layers of protection because those things are valuable. But you could pull over to the side of the road and find some dirt and rocks.
Yep.
Expecting a man to risk his well-being, his future, and his life on someone who does not see value in themselves or the man is asinine. That's a very asinine thing to ask. All I'm saying is protection comes with a little bit of sacrifice. It comes with a little bit of control. And me personally, I feel that what I have to sacrifice and the amount of control I have to give up is 100% worth it to receive the protection that I've been getting my whole life.
For all 29.5 women that are watching this channel right here, look down into the comment section of this video. You're gonna see stories of men that stepped up to a plate of a domestic situation to defend a woman, and that woman, when the cops came, let's say, didn't defend that man. Instead, the woman went right back to the domestic situation. But this woman's comments proves why it's so important to keep strong men and fathers present and active in the household. Questions, comments, concerns? God already know what to do. Me and go to Turos and Reviews at gmail.com. Guys, let me know what you think about today's content right here. Leave me your comments down below. Continue to like the video. Continue to push us through the algorithm. We ain't playing games no more. No voices must be heard. Last but not least, support the content creators that support you. My website, MTArmy.com, link down in the description. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/MTandR. Go up there, see the benefits, and I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.